Good morning, Mike. How are things in Nashville? It's a little gray and misty here in Watkinsville this morning.
Looks like it's shaping up to be a good day outside.
Yeah.
Johnny's supporting his lovely wife Beth in her reunion. What is probably 40th or something like that, isn't it?
1983, Mike. You know a lot. You know all those people like I do, so I'm looking forward to seeing some old friends tonight.
Well, we got a fill in for you for on site commentary. My daughter Lora, that you know.
I'm glad you and Laura are able to be there in person today to represent Dawg Tracks with what will be a big red and black crowd, I'm sure, in Nashville.
Well, before we go, Johnny, let's talk about that for because really we want to give people the flavor for these places we're going to. And Vanderbilt is about the town. It's about the venue, less the
Yep.
game, as we said. There's some construction going on, though. Are you up to date on what that is?
Just followed a little, Mike. It sounds like both end zones are torn up, which may impede a little bit of your good time over there at the Marriott if you guys hit the early morning cocktail bar there before you go in the game. So just be alert for that. And it's knocked out some of the seating. So the total seating today is under 30,000. I mean, I think Mill Creek and Buford played here last night in the Atlanta area. They probably had that many people in a stadium. So it's kind of by comparison, not SEC like the size of the crowd, but it will be highly represented by barking bulldogs today, Mike.
Certainly 2 years ago, Johnny, we took that stadium over easily 70 or 80% is what it felt like to me.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I don't know what they're talking about, but I know what we're doing. It is the smallest venue in the conference. Would that be correct, Johnny?
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, so the other thing that is notable, you were referring to the Marriott there, and this is the only venue that at least I've seen so far where if you can pay for it on game weekend, you can stay right by the stadium. You can
Yeah.
wake up, get a drink in your hand, and stagger right over to walk in the door. I mean, it's right there.
Well, we've done the Holiday Inn, and we had a great view of the one side of the stadium from our hotel
Yeah.
window. And I'm pretty sure I've never been fortunate enough to secure a Marriott room in advance, but I'm almost certain that if you're at a high floor on the Marriott, you can probably see the game from your hotel room.
Well, Johnny, y'all have a great day. I know you'll be watching it,
For sure.
and I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing some of those good old Oconee folk, a little older, there with your wife tonight.
I'm sure your name will come up a time or two, Mike.
Well, go Dogs, brother.
Go Dogs, Mike.
We're in front of the Parthenon building they've got there, looking at the stadium under construction behind us. Um, nice school, academic reputation. It's a kind of urban place. Like we were talking this morning with Johnny, the trip historically is about the town coming to see Nashville. But this school, they have beaten Georgia before. The last time was in 16. The overall record against Vanderbilt is 60 wins for Georgia, 20 losses, 2 ties. Most of their 20 came back in the early 20th century when you saw national champions coming from Yale or Princeton. You live in Asheville now.
I do.
So there's a little bit of a tie, I assume, with the Vanderbilt name.
Yes.
I know we've been to Biltmore a number of times. I'm coming up to visit you or in the past. Do you know what the connection is to Vanderbilt?
Yes. Cornelius Vanderbilt, who contributed $1 million to the building of the university, is the grandfather of George Washington Vanderbilt, who built Biltmore. The Biltmore is a very important part of Asheville, and it seems like Vanderbilt is a very important part of Nashville.
Yeah.
We had a great dinner last night.
Oh, it was fantastic. We probably did a little bit more putting our money in eating, where Johnny and I might put a little bit more into entertainment and something. But fabulous meal. We ate at a place called
The Standard at Smith House.
The Standard at Smith House, and I might plug a little footage in of their Maker's Mark bottle collection. At least in the room we were in, it was pretty substantial.
Fabulous waiter. Do you remember his name?
David.
David. Highly recommend the food there.
Yeah, it was
Both
fantastic.
got steaks, wonderful wine pairing with it.
It was fantastic. Now nearby, where we stayed, of course, is the Grand Ole Opry. There's some other small venues, music venues in the area, some that are famous for launching some. Down here, they've got a Broadway section that's downtown, where you can find some really nice modern bars. Our restaurant was downtown last night, really nice place. We do expect to see a victory today. We have encountered all of the construction that we were warned about.
Yeah.
They're putting some work into it and expanding.
The specs look really nice that we've seen around campus of what it's going to look like, but it is a lot of construction.
Lovely place, lovely campus. It's a lovely day. I'm glad to have you here with me, daughter.
Glad to be here with you.
Well, you know what me and Johnny say on the way out?
Go
Dogs. Yeah, me too. Yeah, maybe go ahead. Well, Laura, we walked in here, and shortly that scoreboard over there said Vanderbilt 7, Georgia 0.
Yep.
And there was an eclipse in the sky that suddenly became visible. I felt like I was blaming it on that to begin with. What you think of that game today?
Well, I probably put a bit more of a whooping on them, if I'm being honest with you. Always fun to watch. Sad about Rockbauer. I'd like to know an update, but we haven't been able to get
I'll be anxious to
yet.
figure that out too. Our conversation with Johnny this morning about the, maybe we've turned the corner and figured the team out. Maybe not.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
got some work to do there.
As well as they have the past 2 years.
So, yeah, that's right. That would have been very reminiscent of what we might have put on the field in the past.
Correct.
Well, let's comment a little bit on that. I found it interesting, their third down foghorn and followed by the Mexican hat dance or something. I thought that was entertaining.
It cracks me up every time. That was definitely, they had some fun traditions here, I was noticing. So.
They also had something you were telling me. You went to get some food, and they had a opponent-themed hot dog that they were marketing.
Yes, they have a local hot dog shop called Big Daddy's Dawgs or something like that, and they had a Georgia-themed hot dog that had cream cheese, peaches, and jalapenos on it. So that was nice to be honored that way, I'll say.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, you can see what they're doing. I mean, that'll be a new scoreboard behind us, I'm sure, in the future. But the SEC schedule structure changes next year, so I'm not sure if Vanderbilt's going to end up in our conference. I think, our half of the conference, they're going to roll it together. We'll figure that out. I'm glad we were able to capture the Vanderbilt Nashville experience, put it down for people. I'm glad you're able to be here with me.
Happy to have been here with you.
It's a great dinner last night,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was.
Yeah. All right, Laura, you drive home safely, as I hope to do myself.
Yeah.
Everybody, go Dogs.